What's going on, everybody? This is Josh with Your Concept Media Group, and today we're going to be putting together a DIY camera slider. One of my favorite things about DIY camera sliders, well, sliders in general, of course DIY, you get the ability to save a little bit of money. One of the things that I really like about them is their ability to, you know, invoke more emotion than just a stable camera shot. I'm going to show you guys some footage of some camera shots that I get after I get finished putting this together. I didn't really want to spend the amount of money that you spend on sliders. I mean, obviously you can spend upwards about 100, maybe even 150, and if you want to get some really fancy ones, you're looking at thousands. And I wanted to do something simple. This is my first slider. I really wanted to get this shot in that I've been looking for in some of my music videos and then even some of the projects. So a slider was a way to go. So yeah, stay tuned. Also, really quick, I also want to point out that I'm going to be leaving in the description below where I got this idea from. One of the guys that I follow a lot on YouTube, he actually put his own together, and I just kind of followed along in his footsteps. I stay in the States, so I had to change out some of the sizes and whatnot in order to make it accommodate for what we do here, especially when we're talking about going from metrics to standard. So yeah, I'll try to be as descriptive as possible. If I miss out on anything, please leave it down in the comments below. I will try my best to answer all these questions that you may have. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the DIY camera slider. Alright, so as you can see, I've got a bunch of stuff just laid out right here. There's my tripod head that I just picked up. And then I also have an assortment of washers, nuts, bolts, wing nuts, angle brackets. Those guys right there, those are the cutouts. That's what's actually going to be used as like the template. The template's actually included online. Pipe cutter. Those right there are some end caps to cap off the piping when I get the cut length that I want. That right there, I was using that to start cutting this MDF board, but yeah, I'm not gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be using a Dremel. Got my 90-degree angle. Man, I can't honestly remember what that's called, but yeah, I've got a bunch of different things here. So there's these pulleys that you need to buy. I couldn't find any pulleys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn these guys into some pulleys, and we're gonna go ahead and see how that works out for us. And then I got some eye bolts. But yeah, like I said, this is everything that I need for right now anyway. And yeah, let's see how this works out. Alright guys, so one of the things that I found to be extremely useful throughout this process was the use of this conversion chart. So in the video that's down in the description, the one that I'm leaving a link for, the guy is speaking about metrics. So my drill bit kit also comes with a conversion chart that allows me to convert pretty, I'm not going to say it's like right on the money, but it gets you within a certain percentage based off of what that metric is. So for instance, one of the metric numbers is 4 millimeters. All right, so you see right there where it says 530 seconds, that is the metric conversion to standard for 4 millimeters to 5/32. Another one was like 8, if I'm not mistaken. 2164, that's the conversion for 8 millimeters, the closest one anyway. I just wanted to point out that that's what I've been using to get my metrics converted over to standard. So one of the things that you're actually going to realize when you're putting these together is that these copper pipes right here, I went and bought mine from Home Depot. Actually, I'm sorry, I went to Lowe's and bought it. When you start looking at these pipes actually have a lot of oxidation on them, and basically what that means is they haven't been polished up or anything like that, so you're going to see a lot of like tarnishing and whatnot. There's going to be some black stains on it. Might appear to be dirt, could be dirt, I don't know. I'm not a professional at knowing metals and how they deteriorate and yada 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 yada. But anyways, you're gonna notice that it's kind of it doesn't look that clean. So what you're gonna need to do is let me grab this. You're gonna need to get this stuff right here. It doesn't have to be this stuff in particular, but it does need to be a metal polish. You're gonna put this stuff on there. I did like 3 coats of it. I'm not entirely sure if that's gonna do you any good, in all honesty. First, and also I wanna apologize about the noise. It's hot in my garage and I was not about to turn the fan off. It doesn't have to be this one, it has to be a polish. I put like 3 coats on mine. I'm not entirely sure if that is actually going to do anything to help the process get better. But I will say that my copper pipe is fairly shiny at this point. You are gonna need to get some soap and water. You're gonna need to wash off the polish, and the rag is gonna need to be fairly clean. And that's how you're gonna know that you got everything off of the pipe. Hey, what's going on, everyone? I just want to first apologize. It's like really hot out here and it's the morning, but I'm out here in the beautiful Texas country, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to get some video footage of the slider that I just got finished building. There's all kinds of stuff to be seen out here. I'm gonna try to get some footage of the sunrise. I'm gonna be trying to get some footage of just random stuff. But yeah, thanks for again tuning in, and enjoy this part of the video. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so a couple recommendations for this slider build in closing. I definitely recommend using the lacquer. I thought it wasn't a good idea. I thought it was an extra step that wasn't necessary. The gentleman in the video in the description actually mentions that it helps to prevent further oxidation. Sure enough, I didn't put it on there, and that's exactly what happened. So yes, definitely recommend putting on that lacquer. Second tidbit, make sure you use the coping saw. I did not use this initially. I used my Dremel tool, and it was, I'm not gonna say it was a disaster, but it definitely made life harder. I'm not entirely sure if there was a different bit that I could have used to cut, but I didn't actually use the Dremel too much because it was just making it more difficult. The coping saw made it a whole lot easier, so use this. The third tidbit is in regards to some parts that were mentioned in the video that I got this idea from that I couldn't find. The gentleman speaks of some dome nuts. I couldn't find dome nuts, so what I did was I went ahead and went to the store, bought some longer bolts, and I used the Dremel tool to cut them down to size. And you know what, it actually worked out pretty well. This is actually what I'm talking about right here. You can see the bolts. I trimmed them down. They were a bit longer. They were probably about that tall. And what happens is now when I set this down, the top bracket sits on there and it acts as a brace for that top bracket. It definitely is a help in supporting that, because depending on what kind of camera you're putting on there, there's a lot of weight that's sitting on that hinge system on the other side. So you definitely want to make sure that you're not putting too much weight on that, because remember, we're using MDF. And that stuff can break fairly easy depending on, you know, the load capacity that you put against it. So there you have it, guys. That's this DIY build. I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in and watching this. I also want to say that this is by far one of the best DIY builds that I've done. I've done builds in the past, I just haven't recorded them. I thought it was a good idea to put this together in a recording because of the simple fact that, hey man, you know, somebody else may want to do this in the States, and you know, might find them a little hard to know what to come by based off of, you know, trying to make that differentiation between metric and standard. Definitely had fun building this. I'm very glad that I was able to spend less than $200 to build something of the same size, and actually I think this build would have cost about $400, but yeah, it was still fun nevertheless. Highly recommend this to anybody who's looking at trying to put something together on their own. If you guys haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell button so you can know when some of our new projects are coming out. We don't just do DIY builds, we also do product tutorials, and we put some of our content out that, you know, we do for our clients and whatnot. Hit the like button, and then also go ahead and share some of the videos too. There's always somebody out there who's looking to try to invest in themselves or understand more about something, so you know, you sharing this could definitely help somebody else better themselves. So again, my name is Joshua with Your Concept Media Group. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.